Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Today, we are trying to talk about human resources for international companies. And at the very beginning of today's conversation, I would like to ask our guest from Africa to introduce himself. Okay, please.
Okay. Hello, I'm Rogers. I'm from Ivory Coast. I'm a student at China University of Bioscience, for PhD candidate. So,
Introduce a little bit more. For example, your dissertation. Would you like to talk about the topic and in which field you are doing research?
okay, my research field is about structural geology. So, structural geology is a more complex area in geology, but a very nice field, or research field. So, my research particularly talk about shear zone, micro tectonic, and some strain and stress analysis. This is a bit a general introduction of about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, currently, I'm waiting for my defense, maybe next month.
You will smoothly graduate from China University of Geosciences.
Yes.
Right?
Of
Okay.
course.
Okay. Today, our topic about talent. We know for a boss, if you are trying to open a company, some people say it's very simple. Just the three issues. One is people. People means human resources. Second is projects. What you are doing, for example, gold deposit. The third is about capital, money. So capital and people and project. The three things, as long as we deal with the three things smoothly, everything will be okay. So at the very beginning, I also trying to introduce our background, the program background. Our Suntrans provide translation, engineering, and mining for many years. And sometimes we also organize a lot of conferences to do roadshow, to raise money for our clients. And at the same time, some of our clients also mentioned one thing, that is about people. Because for any project, no matter how great the reserve or resource reserve about attractive, we must understand the background is people. People are engaged in all of these issues. So today we are trying to talk about human resources. Regarding human resources, it include a lot of aspects. For example, what do you know? If you are HR, what do you know for HR's work? What's his task? Or what kind of work he should do? Just for your understanding. If you are human resources, you are responsible for human resources. What kind of a task you should do?
Okay, firstly, we look for people with some experience.
That is recruitment.
Yes.
To look for people, hire people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's most
But
important.
sometimes also I can look for just students and train them. Maybe some internship.
Training.
Yeah, training.
That's one point is
internship.
training.
Because if you are looking for experienced people, because
Yes.
before to become experienced people or maybe qualified people, you should work before in one company. So
Right.
if no one or recruit maybe or employ you for the first time, how you will get experience? So firstly, I will look for some students, okay, the graduate student,
Yes.
for training. After
Yeah.
training, we can work together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
this-
what's more is firstly we must do some work regarding recruitment
the recruitment.
and
Yes.
also training. Recruitment, training. What else?
Recruitment training, and I think
Salary.
salary.
And the payment plans, 薪酬设计. So one is recruitment, 招聘. the other is training, 培训, and also including 薪酬设计, payment and salary. Yes. What's more?
Recruitment, training,
and
salary.
Relationship between employers and employee.
Yes.
That's also very important.
Very important, yeah.
So for some company, that is culture. Company culture also very important.
Yes,
what else? Humorous, this is
the targets, your objective you want
actually
to reach.
For professional human resources, usually they are responsible for 6 points. Today we will talk about 3 or 4 points in terms of mining talents, the talents in mining industry. And now let me ask some questions. I know you are from your country, from Africa. I'm a mining company. We are trying to hire a driver and a geologist in Africa. For example, your country is you are from Cote d'Ivoire, right?
Yes.
And we know in Cote d'Ivoire there are a lot of diamond deposits, or sometimes the gold deposits and coal deposits. Now, if we are trying to hire people, how about the average salaries for these positions? I mean, for drivers, for these engineers or geologists, or for on average, just in your impression, generally speaking, please.
In my impression, the salary, what I said, Sam, is the salary depend on the people, the diploma, your experience, because everyone in the private company,
sharply different.
Exactly.
Even the same position, maybe 4 times or 5 times, it's normal. Yeah. Okay. But on average,
exactly.
Average.
In the private company, everyone go and discuss his salary, according to his experience, and or maybe it's from maybe another company to others company. So it depends on different factors. So, but in average, the salary can go to maybe 2,000 to more than 10.
2,000 to 10,000 RMB.
Yes.
Or US dollars. US dollars or RMB?
2,000
RMB.
Yeah.
Chinese yuan. Okay.
To 10, more than 10.
As far as I know, in Africa, also it's different from country to country.
Yes.
For example, when I went to Uganda to hire people, once we need some geologists. We recruit people and we post one recruitment advertisement on the local newspaper, and only within 1 week we got more than 3,000 letters who are trying to look for jobs. Can you imagine? So, in Africa, people now, why so many Chinese? You may understand why so many Chinese companies hire people, set up factories, plants in Africa, just because comparatively local human resources is much cheaper than those in China.
Okay.
Needless to say, United States, Australia, or America.
Okay, so what I want to add is, in Africa, human resources is not expensive. Why? Because the government try to solve the problem in unemployment, Because many students after the school, sometimes it's a little difficult. So the human resource is like it's cheaper. So,
right.
So the company can recruit many students to get their first job. Because that's why you find that in Africa, not because Africa is poor, but because there are many people and it's difficult to find job, so that it will be easy for everyone to get his first job, and that's why the human resources is given. Because if the same company, you are working in China or in Europe, okay, will spend more money than if you work in Africa.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because in China or Europe, you take 5 people, you will pay more than if you go to Africa.
Yes.
That's why Africa is, I think, is one of the good places if you want to earn more money. Not because we don't need money, not because, but the government sets to get more people be employed, because after study, people should apply. Because if you don't get job, you are like or a danger for the society, because you can maybe do some bad thing in the society. That's why it's better to help everyone to get job.
Okay.
So that it's better to go
just go. I mentioned about the salary and the payment. Yeah. Let me finish this part. I remember once I went to the top 3 universities in Uganda, try to recruit some people. Most students, graduate students, they just charge about 500 RMB or 1,000 RMB. They just graduate from university and the top universities. So much cheaper. But in Beijing, if we are trying to hire a college student, maybe at least 5,000 RMB, even more, even 10,000 RMB, much expensive, 20,000 RMB. But in Africa, maybe 1/10 comparatively, or 1/5. For example, some people, if we hire a very experienced driver, they just charge about less than 2,000 RMB. About 1,800. We have a project in Pakistan. We also hire the local people. They charge 1,500 RMB. You can imagine if we hire one Chinese driver. Can you imagine how much we will pay? About 12,000 RMB. So maybe 5 or 6 times. Now today I have some suggestions, because in the past 10 years I have been in more than 30 countries to help Chinese companies to purchase mines, oil fields. I find one very interesting phenomenon. That is, when one Chinese mining company is trying to do mineral resources business. They hire a lot of people, even the chef. They hire chef from China to the local people.
Yeah.
And everything just from China. But they have a lot of problems. One thing is, if you hire one Chinese chef to overseas, maybe after all, he is a human being. Sometimes he needs to come back to take care of his family, to see his wife, his children. As a result, back and forth during the course, maybe it takes a lot of money and a lot of time, and sometimes very unstable. Maybe even you pay a lot of money, he is not willing to stay in Africa for a long time. After all, people are social animals. To get a family together, this is very important. Another reason is and if you hire a local people, African people, maybe in some degree, the government, if you are trying to sign up one contract with the government, some commission, concessionary, some project, maybe the government also will tell Chinese companies or other international mining companies, you must pay, you must hire local people, maybe 20% or 10%, even 30%. You in your company, if you want to open a mine and hire people, the government also feels very worried. Okay, please hire people. This is your task. The solutions, you must find out certain solutions to employ local people. That is, legally, you must hire local people. If you just hire all of foreigners, maybe the government will not very happy. Government means make sure the society is steady, stable, and instead of chaos, Okay, this is one reason. And about for many companies, what's more, if they want to, another situation is that the community problems. If we hire if we hire all of these geologists, PR, public relations from China, maybe for Chinese people, they have a lot of problems. Do you know what kind of problems? Language barrier is one problem.
Yeah. Maybe the local culture.
Local culture also one problem. And the local situation, and special connections.
Yes.
About the language, Chinese, native language is Chinese. Some people can speak English, French, or Portuguese, Mongolia, but not so fluently.
No.
The second reason is that is special connections. Most of the Chinese people just know Chinese, know their culture, know their habits, know their relatives, knows their behavior, and some thoughts or some ideas, some deep needs at the bottom of their heart. Chinese people know Chinese, but Chinese men don't know foreigners' idea, culture, customers. Otherwise, it's very hard.
Yeah.
I can take one example. Once we tried to went to one country in Africa. We purchased one cobalt and a gold deposit, and the president and minister from Mines and Energy also agreed with us, and we were very, very happy, and so the minister appointed certain officials, leaders to the spot to see all to the site, mining site, and to see all of the members of the mine. And the government introduced our team, and we were these members, this audience are very happy. They say, "Okay, welcome. You take over our mine, and we may have our mine will become very promising, and appreciate you so much." I also delivered a speech. Suddenly, one guy stand up. Originally, they just sit on the ground, and there is a lot of grass on the ground. They sit over there, listen to our description and our future plan. Suddenly, one guy stand up. "Okay, sir, sorry, I have a question." You know what kind of question? They say, any Christian among you? Because all of us are Christian. We believe in Jesus Christ. If you guys are not a Christian, I don't think you will bring some beautiful thing to us. I hope you live here. Maybe keep 3 or 4 seconds. I stop. I paused because I'm trying to say. And fortunately, we have 5 leaders among that project. I am one of the leaders. 2 of 5 are believed in Christian or got baptized. Maybe 13 years ago, when I was studying in the United States, we also went to regularly went to church and got baptized. We know a lot of habits and their demands or their need. And I immediately, I thought of this. I immediately replied to them, "Okay, 5 of us got baptized and they believe in Lord Jesus." Immediately, all the people applauded. They said, "Oh, great!" Even someone come to the front and hugged me. They say, "Great! We hope we will follow your idea and listen to your your instruction. We will do everything as you order." You see, this is about religion. If we hire all of Chinese people, not everyone is baptized, got baptized, or believe in Christian. So in some degree, maybe some Chinese also need to hire local people. Local people, most people believe in Christ, Jesus Christ. As a result, if ask him to lead local people, they will follow him.
Yeah, yes.
So in great degree, we must also consider the religion and the relationships. If we say none of us believe in Jesus Christ, what kind of result will happen? That is, maybe we will be. They will say, "Okay, go away. We don't need you. We will do. We will explore the mind by ourselves."
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So that is consider the local culture. That is very important, and the religion also is very important. The other, what else do you think? If we give us some reason? Why should we hire local people, not always Chinese? For these Chinese mining companies, we should our team should diverse.
Yeah.
Regionally, nationally, linguistically, and background, we should be diverse.
Yes.
And even different religions. And as a result, people will get along with each other harmoniously. So, give us some more reason. When our Chinese many companies are trying to work in overseas, why should we hire local people? One is save money. The other is local people are much stronger than Chinese people, because no matter language or religion or habits, what else?
Okay. Firstly, because the every government wants the different company in the country to employ local people. Secondly, the local people know more the country. They can interact easily with people in the country. Because if you guys, Chinese, you are working in the country and you face some problem, how will you solve it? No. So it's better to put local people before and you work together. This is very good. And third, as we said, the price, the salary is very, very, very good. I cannot say cheaper, but is better than outside, like Europe, America, something like that. So local people also, I take an example, in mining company, you go to my country and you go to maybe in my country, not in our capital, maybe other cities, and you go to work there. You don't know how people interact. You don't know their culture, their religion, something like that. So it's better, even you go there, even I'm Ivorian.
For yourself?
I'm from Cote d'Ivoire. I'm from Cote d'Ivoire. But if you go to my country, you want me to work with you, and we choose one city to go there, I should also contact one guy there in that city to work with him together, because he know more that place than me. Even I am from the same country.
It's similar to the tourism guide.
Exactly.
Yeah, a tourist. If you are a tourist, you want to visit some places.
Exactly.
Some people, we can pick up certain people from airport and to Beijing and have a tour guide. But later, if they are trying to go to Gansu province, for example, my hometown, Mogul Grottos is very famous. If people are trying to visit over there, maybe I know it, but not everybody know it.
No, exactly.
So local tour guide may be very clear about the local landscapes.
Exactly. And also, the local people can know which place people can go, which place people cannot go. Because, the different village has their different behavior. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, if I'm not from that place, I cannot know exactly if I'm not able to go to that place or not, So that why is very, very important to connect people there. This is the first thing to do when you arrive in new countries and you need to work there, okay? And
Yes.
you need people to guide you, to help you for some administration
Yeah.
or some document to get some document. This
Yeah.
is very, very important.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have some permits, you cannot start to work. Understand?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a little difficult when you don't master anything. But it's better to get in touch with people, okay, in place and
Yeah.
work with them directly. Not only because the salary is cheaper, but this can help you to go very fast in your business.
And I can take an example to illustrate this point.
Yeah.
When several mineral exploration companies were trying to bidding one project in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And some companies are very powerful. And some, for example, I know certain mineral exploration companies has a very, very large team, and certain companies may have a very long history, and some mineral exploration companies had very advanced equipment. But finally, a media-sized company got the bidding and became winner. Do you know what's the reason? And actually, this company was not very professional in mineral exploration. In the past, they just involved in certain hydrogeology work. That is to get a well, drain some well for water and drinkable water, and not for mineral exploration. But finally, this company got the project. Do you know what's the reason? Just because they hired one local people. This guy was a chief minister's nephew. You know, the relationship is very special.
Yes.
As a PR, public relation, he was able to. Some people say just make one phone call equals our common people called 10,000 times, just because he knows some special person has special relationship. If we hire such kind of people, he can solve the problem. Finally, the small company got become a winner of bidding the project. That's why for giant mining companies, even for giant companies, they must hire some people. They are very professional or have some special relationship. As far as I know, a lot of giant mining companies hire certain people, not always for their professional knowledge, some for special connections.
Yeah.
Some for that is public relation. Public relation. That means even, for example, this is my wife. Every night we sleep together. Sometimes she told me, okay, blah blah. This guy is very versatile and very knowledgeable. We should hire him. He is very powerful. He should act as a general manager. No problem. Day and night, if my wife always give comment like this, as a result, maybe you will become a general manager. So, in great degree, if we no matter what kind of mineral deposits we are trying to explore, firstly, everything will be connected by people. So the interpersonal relationship and the special connections are very important. And I take the example in Pakistan to illustrate the importance for special relationship. He has the right to make a decision. The mineral exploration project, should be delivered to certain people. You can do it. He is a decision maker. He was a decision maker. He has the right to do it.
Yeah.
We must find out the key person to do it. Otherwise, you just talk face to face, seemingly officially. Sorry, after work in the evening, on the banquet, maybe on the table, let's drink some alcohol and discuss certain, make our relationship closer and closer. And then, okay, how about that project? A lot of Chinese people are very good at dealing with things in this way. In some degree, it's also effective. That's why a lot of people seem so generous. We invite people to have dinner. You such delicious food, maybe, and you may feel relaxed and very easily to promise or to agree certain issues and agree on certain agreement. That is useful. So in different way, have different. Okay, would you like to give some comments regarding this point?
Firstly, how to find key people in one country. I think this point is very important. When you want to invest in one area, how to find the good key people, the person who can help you to easily introduce you.
Here involved in one. Today we are talking about human resources for mining companies.
Yes.
That is, firstly, here I want to talk for some certain mining companies. We need a geologist. Some people who are good at prospecting for mineral exploration or mineral products, and some people may be very good at mining. Some people are good at beneficiation or smeltering or processing. Some people are good at mining traders or investment. We look for people in different specialties, with different specialties. We really need such kind of professionals. But we also need certain people who are PR, public relations. Public relations, that means maybe he is very influential for local people, among local people. Or he has some special connections. For example, when we brought certain mining companies to go to Africa, they want to look for the local king for certain kingdom. You know, nowadays in Africa, some people just listen to the president's order, but for some local people, they just listen to for the tribe's leader. That is the spirit leader or religion leader or a king in certain area, even for in Ethiopia or Tanzania. I involved in certain projects. We know if in certain mining area, the mine owner hoped all of the people move out to other places. But these people say, no, we don't want to go out. You must pay us a lot. Even you pay a lot, we don't want to go out. Later, this mining owner sent a very expensive gift to the king. And the king ordered all of the people, okay, tomorrow let's move to another place. And the mine owner will also compensate certain money. And we don't have to, we will still have, the project will be very beneficial for our local people. And even the mine owner will hire a lot of people for us. And the king delivered a speech to the local people. A lot of people immediately applauded. Okay, great. We will follow your idea. Are you clear?
Yeah.
So for this, the Chinese mine owner, he felt, he sort of just 5 minutes. All of the people agreed with him. He spent 3 months. No one agreed with him. Even some people was trying to kill him. So if you find out proper people, you will solve this problem.
Okay.
Do you agree with me?
Okay, I agree. Okay, what I want to add is when you go to that place, such a place, and to find the chief of the tribes, okay, firstly, he will recommend some people to work, to work with you.
Yes.
So, okay, if you want to give job to his people, he can leave you work in that area.
Yes.
So but some people, those people, the salary is not high. Is most of them is less than maybe 500 or 1,000. Most of them for them,
exactly.
because they are not they don't have a diploma. Do you understand?
Right.
So for them the salary is okay. But if you go there and you want to convince the chief, okay, to get his area for working, you should also help him to you should take some people from his tribe for working. If you do that, everything will be fine. Okay?
Right. I agree with you.
Exactly. And also what you said, sometimes you can give some gifts, some gifts. I don't know which one, but to the gift, okay, it can also facilitate some relationship between you and local people. You know why? Because in different countries, every family has his own area. You know? So if you want to use my area for your mining, you should come and see the chief. And the chief, if the chief is happy, because if I give him some gift, he can go to the family and try to convince him. You understand what I mean? And then if you convince the family, it will be easy. So good relationship between you and the chief, and also help people to get job in that area will be very, very good for you to succeed.
Yes. I can tell some stories happened to myself. Maybe 16 years ago, from 2005 and 2006, 2007, and 2008. At that time, I was still studying as a master student and PhD student at China University of the United States. Later, I went to the United States to study. Before I went to the United States, I worked namely part-time, actually almost a full-time work for BHP. This is the globally largest mining company. And when my boss named Barry Quiroz, he was from Mexico, and he arranged me to purchase a lot of gifts, some like basketballs, some bicycles, to our geologists, to our clients, to some local people, partners, and he mentioned, okay, if we, as long as we give gifts, then all of our colleagues, partners would be very happy. Maybe the gifts for their children, basketball, flowers, some rings. Very simple, but very important for them to remain harmonious relationship. And what's more, BHP is nowadays still the globally largest mining company and largest company in Australia. And they also built up in Gansu province, I remember, in Jinchang, Minqing County, several places. They also set up some tables for table tennis. And donated a lot of money for the school building. And even the mayor also involved in the opening ceremony for the school. Or they say, this is a great company. We should look for job in the company and try to support them. And the local news on TV also broadcasted us, reported our activity and the ceremony. So that is the company, BHP Billiton. Now the company is renamed after the BHP, only BHP. You know, American only BHP. BHP is a small village in Australia. And later, some people opened a company and named the village as the company's name. And joined another company is Billiton. Billiton is a little bit smaller, but still a very huge mining company. they combine together, become BHP bulletin. But nowadays, they divided into two companies once again. And anyway, BHP is very huge. Some people have good idea. That is remain good regime by donating money to the local school building or to help people to send gifts. As a result, all of the local people love their activities. Yeah, this is one reason. And in the very beginning of today's conversation, you also mentioned one very important word, that is training.
Yeah.
Without proper training, a lot of people cannot do work.
Exactly.
I can take several failure experiences in Pakistan and Uganda. Because I went to so many countries. When I went to Pakistan for 5 or 6 times, and I rent one place as a branch office for our Suntrans. And I hired people from Punjab University. You know, in Pakistan, there were 5 provinces at that time. And Punjab University is one of the top universities in Pakistan. I went to the university, looked for the president and several top very famous professors, asked them to recommend the students. As a result, they really very pleased to recommend their students to us. When they graduate, they worked for our company. They obtained a master's degree, PhD degree, but later, do you know what happened? It was impossible for me to always stay in Pakistan. So sometimes when I just stay 2 weeks or one month, I will come back to China. But when I stay in China, I made a phone call to them or send a QQ message to them. Sometimes they disappeared. And as a result of several months, they asked them to do overseas to do marketing development. They didn't show up for a long time. When they spent all of the salary, they look for me once again, send a one quick message to me. Okay, boss, I have no money. Please ask me to do something. Or they come back again. But when I paid money to them, they disappear once again. So even they had a quality, they had degrees. That doesn't mean they are honest. They have some very good quality. So we must make some rules specifically and concretely ask them to follow these rules. Otherwise, without a monitor. Another point here, I also want to mention one point that is for a successful mining company team, including for most companies, they should it should be a mixture. That is, some are Chinese, some are foreigners. People can compensate each other. For example, you are strong in French. I know nothing about French. Yeah. I know I have learned a lot of skills in United States. You don't know. Maybe you learned some skills and knowledge in China. Anyway, when we match others, has a team, show our team spirit. Yeah. As a result, we can do everything. If just by yourself or by myself, I cannot do it. The best way in one as a human resource department, we must consider one that is why we need a diverse team. Yeah. People from different countries, different nations, different capabilities, and can do something together. Yeah. That is the best way. Yeah. Can you take some examples or illustrate this point? Why, for one team, maybe one person is very good at, for example, mineral exploration. If you are a PhD, you are very good at the mineral exploration. You can train other people. They are common people. You can tell them, okay, how to take samples, what you should be careful. If you are not experienced enough, maybe we need to hire one older geologist, maybe 40 years, 60 years. He has accumulated a lot of experience. Ask him to train you. And then you can train these young guys, maybe only 20 years. Ask to teach them how to do it. So human resource ladder, we call that the ladder of human resources. People should be diverse in age, in nation, in complexation, skin complexation, in different language skills, should be different.
Yeah.
So that is the human resources. And would you like to also talk about something else regarding human resources for mining companies? In which aspect they should pay attention to?
Okay, you should pay attention to.
Yeah.
So as you said, you should pay attention to you as manager.
Manager, yeah.
Yeah, you should very pay attention to people who you are working with them, because sometimes if the manager of the leader is not taking care very well about his people, it will be difficult for him to follow them, you know.
Yeah.
As
you are mentioning about leadership, right?
Yeah. As you said, you went to Pakistan, you left some people and you came back to China.
Yes.
And they disappeared. Why? Because no one there to
Monitorism, leaderism.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's why in any endeavor we need one manager or leadership to guide people. This is very, very important point. And also, as you said, we need diverse people, like different skills.
Yes.
Okay, different skill. Maybe if you want to invest in Africa,
Yes.
or in Europe.
Yeah.
I talk more about Africa because I'm from Africa. Okay, in Africa, you need me because I have some skills you don't have.
Right.
As I know French, I know my area.
Yeah.
I know local people. You know.
Maybe you also have some special connections.
Exactly, of course. And also, I have skills or experience in mining and mineral resources. This is very important, you know.
Yes.
And also, as geologists, we know that when you want to recruit people to work in mining, you cannot take only geologists. You should take some people for human or social or economic, something like that.
Yes.
Because if you take geologists, the geologists go to the village.
Yes.
He cannot interact with people or others. Maybe you are a student in economic or maybe social, something like that. Me, I'm geologist.
Yeah.
My work is to look for mineral deposit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The economic or social or student, his work is to interact with people and to let me do the job. That's why it's very, very important to use diverse people when you want to work in one area, you know. And as geologists, or you take your geologists who know more about mineral deposit. The geologists will know more about mining, how to mine the gold or diamonds, something like that. And some geologists with other skills. This is very, very important. So all of them can form one strong team to work. You know, as you said, is very, very important. And as human resource leader, it's better to consider all aspects about the different skills. Because if everyone has the same skill, it will be difficult. It's like the team will be like homogeneous, you know. So you should have a team with different background.
Yes.
That everyone can bring his competence or maybe some new ideas to go help the team to go far. This is very, very important.
Jessica, you mentioned about the leadership. I want to, do you know, for most CEOs in mining companies globally, how about their salaries? The maximum, roughly, you can guess. For most very successful mining companies, their CEOs' salary. How about their income?
I don't know.
You don't know? You can guess.
But I think is a little high, maybe.
Little higher.
Maybe
Pretty high.
Maybe
How high?
30,000 yuan?
20,000.
No, 30.
30,000. No, it's not so high.
It's also
Very little.
well, maybe 20.
20,000?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a senior geologist. For some giant mining companies, senior geologist, even much higher than that.
Yeah. Some strong mining company.
I can tell you for some top world mining companies, CEOs, their salary maybe amount to 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 6 million annually. 5 million.
5 million?
Yes. Even for some companies, much higher. 10 million. Even some mining companies, their CEOs' annual salary about 10 million. I know some guys, he got a lot, very high. Maybe 10 times or 100 times compared to some very bottom members. And so you maybe it's amazed you. But it's true. In Chinese, there is a good saying that is 千军易得，一将难求. You know the meaning?
No.
It's not very difficult to get 1,000 soldiers, but it's very hard to get one qualified general. For some people have very great charisma or wonderful leadership. Not everyone is qualified for certain position. Some people are very powerful. So if we hire such kind of people, maybe the giant mining companies must spend a lot of money to hire these people. For our Suntrans, we have helped certain companies to look for such kind of talented people. They worked for like Val in Brazil, and worked for Barrick. They worked for BHP, Rio Tinto, and FMO, and they also worked for Min Metals. Some of them for Zijin Mining, and a lot of and Zhaojin Mining, and Shandong Gold Group. They worked in some very huge mining companies, and some people are shift work in these different giant mining companies, and sometimes we know their demands and their situation. Maybe some of them worked in Australia. Later, they want to work in Africa. They want to see elephant and these animals. Yeah, we would introduce some work in Africa. So, in the past 10 years, we have successfully recommend a lot of people to look for jobs in different as a geologist or the CEOs for many companies. Some companies are willing to pay pretty high. So for you, if in future we can do something together. Even after your graduation, you say, okay, I want to work for BHP or Rio Tinto, Barrick. We can recommend you to work with them. They are willing to pay very high. Of course, for your comprehensive capability, also they have very strict requirements for you. Yeah. Anyway, it's also we can say that's ladder. Some people the salary maybe very just several thousand RMB, but for some people several million RMB. It's normal. Yes. Different people produce different results. We must. Would you like to also talk about some idea about this point? The ladders for management and for about the human resources in giant mining companies. I remember before you came to China, you also worked for certain companies. How about your salary, if convenient, or the average salary in that company? Please take some examples. You can say it very general. Doesn't matter. Today, we just want to tell people some truth.
Yeah.
It's history. No matter how high, how low. I also have my first job as a senior high school English teacher. My salary is 1,000 RMB. Each year, my my salary will be increased 100 RMB monthly. So I worked for 3 years. The last year, my salary was 1,300 RMB monthly.
It's too cheap.
Yeah, very cheap. But when I worked for PhD, from 2000 to 2003, I worked as a senior high school teacher. Only the last year, 1,500 300 RMB. But in 2003, I came to China University of Geosciences as a master's student. Later, in 2004 or 5, I worked for PhD. Can you imagine how much my payment at that time? You guys?
More than maybe 50,000? 50,000 RMB?
3 times of this.
3 times?
Right.
150.
15,000 RMB. 15,000 RMB. As a senior high school teacher, only 1,300. Only 1 or 2 years later, 10 times, more than 10 times, 11 times or 12 times.
But sometimes
12 times.
it's not easy to get such a job.
One reason is I was very good at English at that time. The other reason is I also studied geology at China University of Geosciences, mineralogy, petrology, mineral deposits. This is my specialty. Another reason that is at that time one professor named Yu Bingsong. Later he became my PhD professor. He recommended me to PhD. He said, okay, his classmate was looking for some talent. So he recommended me to interview over here. Later, my boss, very curious, was very happy. He interviewed me. Okay, you are good at geology, biology. Why does it? So this is they need to recruit certain versatile people. I'm not only good at geology but also English. The two capabilities both are very important at that time for that position. And later he told me he asked some people to translate. When Chinese people say 孔雀石, do you know 孔雀石? What's 孔雀石? You have no idea. Chinese people, 孔雀 means peacock. 石 means stone. Can you imagine what? Stone, rock.
石头.
石头 means rock. And 孔雀石 in Chinese. This is a specialty term for geology. That is malachite. You know malachite? Malachite, that's an indicator rock for prospecting for copper because it contains copper. And for some people who specialized in English, they can speak English very fluently, but don't know the special term malachite. We just know peacock rock. Peacock rock, the color seems very colorful. The stone's color, the rock's color, 孔雀石 malachite, very colorful, green, like a peacock's feathers, very beautiful. So that is maybe that is why the name is 孔雀石. So my boss, very curious, said he looked for some professors. The professor was very professional, knowledgeable in geology. For example, asked him the formation of porphyry copper deposits. The professor could tell us all of the theories. No problem. Argillic, malachite. Anyway, he could tell us the theory. But when the professor went to the field, two things happened. One is he spoke English broken and broken. His spoken English was not fluently. English spoken was not fluently.
Is it Chinese?
The second is he was very good at theory. He was very good at look for mineral deposits from books, but not from the field. In the field, the stone, this biotite. Biotite, I know the biotite. But he couldn't use the naked eyes or some lens. He couldn't recognize biotite. That is, he is short of experience. So one is English, the other is geology. Three is experience, practical experience, not just from books. From books, it's not enough.
Geology is the field.
Yes, you're right.
Some people know more about geologists in the just book, but when you go to fields with them, they cannot recognize any one minerals,
Yeah.
So this also you should look for also for that people, that student when you are looking for qualified or experienced people is very important.
Yeah. Do you know what's plagioclase?
Yeah, plagioclase. I know.
Okay, introduce what's a plagioclase. Let's say our audience know plagioclase. What's plagioclase? The characteristics and the belongings, the classification. Tell us what's a plagioclase.
Plagioclase is the mineral,
Yeah.
Rocks. Yeah, you can. It's a mineral of rock. Many rock, most of them the rock, the igneous rock.
Yeah.
You can find them in the igneous rock.
Yeah.
And
How about the composition, the content of silicon oxide? Silicon oxide. How about roughly the percentage?
Firstly, the
Basic, ultramafic, mafic. Okay, you continue.
okay. As I said, the plagioclase is like is in the rock. Most of rock you
Yeah.
can find the igneous rock.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the mafic? The mafic, mafic rocks?
Yes.
Okay.
Mafic rock.
Yeah, most of them they are rich on dark mineral.
Yeah.
Most of them they belong.
You cannot make a mistakes. Here today,
Sinusoid
several
and-
hundreds of people are watching us.
Sinusoid and sinusoid group,
Yes.
So when most of them they are rich in biotites.
Biotites.
And, ferromagnesium. I don't know if you know this mineral.
Yes.
They are most of them are dark minerals.
Yeah.
So they are basic. They are basic rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Contrary to the felsic rock, because the felsic rock are more rich in quartz and feldspats, something
Quartz,
like that,
yeah.
Feldspat. And also, there are two groups.
Can you explain what's KFR? Tell us some stories about the KFR. Description, the characteristics of KFR.
Feldspats.
KFR.
Feldspat.
Yes.
Okay, feldspats. I will give more the description, the field description.
Yes.
Okay. Feldspats we commonly call it orthos.
Okay.
Yeah, orthos. In the fields, it's recognized by its colors. Most of them is pink
Yeah.
colors.
Pink color.
Yeah,
Yes.
pink colors. Due to sometimes the alteration, hydrothermal alteration. So you can find it more in rock like granodiorite.
Yeah.
Okay, and some granites also you can find some, and some pegmatite. I don't know, pegmatites.
Okay.
What is rock? Okay, you can find them in that rock. And
Okay, let me ask the last question, geology question. That is about, would you like to tell me certain characteristics of porphyry copper deposits? If we are trying to do
copper, gold.
Porphyry copper deposits, the characteristics of porphyry copper deposits.
Copper.
Yes, porphyry copper deposits. The characteristics. If you are a geologist, what's the characteristics of porphyry copper deposits?
Firstly, most of the deposits have different characteristics, you know.
Yeah.
Because in gold deposit, when you study the mineralization, so mineralization, you should firstly look for the origin, you know. So
Yeah.
mineralization has the orogenic
Yes.
origin, some are hydrothermal origin, some
Yeah.
are epithermal origin.
Yes.
So you should look for that firstly before to correct, because most of them, like in China, most of mineralization in China are related
Yeah.
to the orogenies or
Yeah.
orogen. What creates
There are a lot of characteristics. Firstly, usually for most of the porphyry copper deposits, the scale is very huge. Maybe it is distributed in large area, not for certain type of mineral deposits. Only distributed in certain very narrow field. And for porphyry copper deposits, usually large scale. This is one characteristic. The second is the grade is extremely low. The grade is extremely like Zijingshan, Zijing mining. That's one porphyry. So that's why the grade is low, but it doesn't matter. The reserve is still very huge just because of the large scale. Are you clear?
Yeah.
And it's also usually for most of the porphyry deposits, there are certain deposit model. It's also very mature for a lot of just follow that model. People can find out the prospect for porphyry deposits.
Okay. This is one kind of deposit, but it's not in all the case, you know.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying is most of them in the world, okay?
Yeah.
The most mineralization are related to orogenies, you know. And
Yeah.
then some are related to some are epithermal.
Yeah,
deposits. Okay. So why firstly try to look for orogenic deposits? Because in many countries, when we classify the different deposits gold mineralization,
Yeah.
we know that for mineralization related to the orogenies is more than mineralization or related to the porphyry.
Yes.
Okay, that's why I say it's very, very important to very focus in orogenic deposits. Like even in China, even in my country, most of the mineralization are related to that.
Yeah.
And this mineralization, most of time, they are very distributed in large area, and they are related to different rocks. You know, so
Maybe someday we can make a program, live stream program, to introduce mineral exploration ways for 25 different minerals. I have prepared. Maybe here we can make an advertisement for next time or next time.
Exactly.
We will make a program regarding mineral exploration. Let our mining businessmen or mining companies know how to prosper for minerals. And today, our topic is still we should focus on just go. I test you in some degree. I test you your knowledge in geology. You seem really professional. You are qualified in certain degree.
And then also, what we should consider in mineralization, we should consider the structural geology. It's very,
Yes.
very important.
Yeah.
Because before to have a mineralization, the structural should play a big
Yeah.
role first. You know,
Yeah.
maybe you can some dike, some
Yeah.
vein, some maybe the magma. All are
Yeah.
under control of the structural geology. That's why it's very important. Even the hydrothermals in the rock are controlled by the fracture, the weakness zone in the rock. That's why we can get maybe so. This aspect is very, very important to explore when you are doing mineral deposit. We are studying mineral deposit. You know,
Yeah.
before in my master degree was about mineral deposits.
Yeah.
Deposit, because I work in mining and I look for for gold deposits, okay? As geologist, I went to fields and try to do my research, some research, and to explain, okay? And find gold. And also we find good deposit in at that time. We find it, okay, for the company I work with. And what I know, I know at that time is when you are looking for mineral deposit, the structural aspect is very important.
Yes.
Because in that area, we know that the shear zone, shear?
Yes,
shear,
I know shear.
The shear, most of them, they are very, very, very important. They can condition the hydrothermal circulation in the rock to mineralize maybe one area. That's why when you are looking for mineral deposits or gold deposits, it's better to care more about the structural, on how the structural, or the structure behave in that area. It's very, very important. Before to know this deposit is copper, is porphyry, is orogeny,
Yes.
Okay, you should know first where this mineralization is come from. If you know, you can
yes,
explore.
it's a premise for
you can explore. It's like if you want to employ me to look for your mineralization,
right?
I should have some basic to know how the mineralization form before to look for.
Yes,
because if
formation of mineral deposits.
Exactly. If you don't know how it's formed, how could you find it? This is very difficult.
Right.
That's why it's better you can know first part, clock or biotites is very good. But this is not enough to look for mineralization only.
Yes.
Because we know that mineralization is not only related to one mineral. It can be related to the dye, to the hydrothermal circulation, to the magma. So many factors include in mineral deposits. So that you should consider before to try to do any job in this area.
Yeah. Just go mention about some knowledge regarding geology and mining or mineral exploration. And let's come back to the human resources for mining companies. Today we have mentioned several points, certainly regarding different language skills, different experience skills, and a ladder even for leadership. Different people have different capabilities, and in my past experience, I also worked in the United States and Canada, and I found for some developed countries, their income is also pretty high. Here I also mentioned, but even pretty high, we still need to hire some of them. For example, in Wall Street, there are a large number of financial analysts or investors. They are very good at financial investment, and even we have to pay extremely high payment for them, salary pretty high. For example, several million. Not everyone so high, but still we need to pay certain money to hire certain people, because in Africa, in China, such kind of very, very top, excellent, outstanding talents are very, very rare in these areas. If we want to, for an international mining company, we must try to hire different people who are very, very strong. What's more, I want to introduce one person. He is GE's CEO, Jack Welch. Jack Welch died a couple years ago. Maybe last year he died. And he led the GE group, became number one, ranked number one among the top of 500 companies in the world. Always number one. Seldom became number two. He was very strong. Here we are talking about the strategy for human resources. We must try to recruit very, very top talents in certain field and ask them to lead certain people. If you hire very, very common people, it's not easy. Even himself is not so excellent. Needless to say, ask him to organize a team. For a team, the boss, the leader, the top excellent is very, very necessary. So here I'm trying to tell all of our audience regarding this. If many companies are trying to seek excellent people, remember people the ladder. Some people just medium. Most people are just medium people. Some people very basic. They can do some labor work. But for some people, IQ, EQ, leadership, all are very strong. And maybe you need to pay a lot of money to hire such kind of people. It's very necessary. Our Suntrans has recommended so many outstanding GLs to certain companies. I know. In the very beginning, I don't understand why don't recruit to you use so much money. Maybe you can ask 2, 3, or 4 people to do the same work. Some companies said no. For example, now we need one people to go to see the president. Go to see president. That means you must know you purchased one gold deposit. It's the largest gold deposit in Cote and now you it's impossible for you to lead 4, 5, 10 a lot of people to see president. You only have, you as a chairman, maybe you just can bring 1 or 2 or 3 very limited people to go to see president. Now this person must be very powerful in many aspects. For example, in commercial business, some business skills, some know some geology regarding geology, also very knowledgeable, and also you trust him. In such a case, it's impossible for 2, 3, 4, 5 people to do the same thing. Even on some negotiation table, only 2 or 3 people are allowed to negotiate. It's impossible to ask a lot of people. That's why, at the very beginning, I want to act as a translator for certain companies. Later, they asked me, okay, come here to be a project manager. Just because they need certain people to report to president of certain country, or to not only translate, but also need to very knowledgeable in business skills, international business skills, and even more importantly, they need to accept the interview from CCTV, like CCTV. NTV, I remember in Uganda, the national TV interviewed me. From language, you must speak English. You must also good at geology. You must have some international skills. You must own all of the skills. Then you can do it. You can do some work. So in certain, that's why they are willing to pay me a lot of money to do certain work. And this is a very special scenario of occasion. We need to do it. So here I'm emphasizing for certain positions, people need recruit very special people who are very versatile or combine several different skills or specialties. Okay. What else do we have 9 minutes for today's conversation? Do you have questions? Our audience can also ask some questions. I can see some people leave messages here. 我们的观众也可以在这儿留言。我们还有9分钟的时间结束今天的直播。大家也可以提问，在线的提问，我们都可以看到留言。我们有人呢说 work platform for Liberia for okay yeah, and so some people say ask our African brother to give some suggestions regarding human resources in for mining companies. So some people have give message here. Ask you also give some suggestions for these human resources in mining companies.
In mining company in Africa?
Yes.
Okay. Firstly, if you go to Africa and you want human resources there, first is you can approach different the university. Okay?
Yeah.
University, the department for geoscience.
Yes.
To look for a good student, because the teacher, the professor need or know their student, so they can recommend you good student. Also, you can also find for people is like if you in the newspaper, if you put your information about you are looking for geologists,
yeah,
maybe 2 days later you will have many people who will go to look for job in your company. Okay.
Yes.
And also, this is one. And as we said, when you go to and you look for people, you should have one people firstly. You will know Chinese and you know the local language. This is very important. If you want to go to my country,
collaborate.
If you want to go to my country, I will be happy to help him to collaborate and help him to get more experienced people and qualified people to work very, very hard and very good for him. So,
some people is asking a question. Next month, they will go to Cote d'Ivoire for mineral exploration. Mm-hmm. Are you willing to accompany them to go there? Next month.
I cannot leave before July. Maybe
after your graduation.
Exactly. Maybe after June, after maybe 15 June, I can leave because I will graduate definitely to China.
You see, the live stream program is very useful, very interesting, and efficient.
All people who want to go to Africa, not only in my country, even in West Africa, because I know very well. And as I said, West Africa is the area. I can say before or after China has many resources. I say West Africa.
Yeah, okay. Like Mali. Mali has a lot of gold deposits.
That's
very
why,
rich.
Yeah, that's why many great companies now they are in West Africa for gold or exploration, diamond, gold, manganese, iron. Many companies are there. So everyone is welcome for mineral deposit exploration in that area. And if you are looking for good people or good students, we can provide and they can find, because we have our university have trained some students, some very good students for working in mining and look for what they want. So
yeah, that's good. Today, some people have been looking for you, even try to hire you to work with them. So that's
I'm available.
After your graduation.
I'm available.
Very soon. And now I also tell all of our friends about my connections. That is 13401184506. And my email is 11272035572 at qq.com. 我的联系方式呢是13401184506。邮箱呢是1127203572。QQ 邮箱。So, and what's more, I also ask you one question. If, at the end of today's conversation, if you summarize today's program, would you like to give 1 or 2 sentences to summarize the core suggestion for today's about human resources for these mining companies internationally?
About human resources for mining company?
Yeah.
Firstly, when you go to new area for working, for your business, you should contact, have one people in place who can guide you, who can help you, to contact you with your local people. Why? Because local people, they have their own behavior, their religion, their culture, something like that. So if you want to know better, or you want to know where you are going to explore or to work, it's better to have, okay, like one person as a bridge between you and that person, okay?
Yeah.
And also, for African, the human resource is not too expensive. It's very, very cheap. I can say that. Sometimes it's less than 1,000, maybe 500 sometimes. For the local people,
yeah,
is less than. So I encourage people who plan to go to Africa or maybe for their business. They can go. The place is very safe.
Yeah.
No war, because some people think that in Africa something like that. Yeah. So nothing happen. Everything is fine. You can go and find people in place. Even you go with some Chinese, but in place you can find some qualified people with different skills. Okay. Even in English, you can find people who speak English, French, and Chinese, and they can help you and interact for your work. So don't fear, don't be afraid to go to that place for working. It's very, very good, and people are very nice, and human resources are diverse. They can help you to in any endeavor.
Yes. Nowadays, we know in the past 1.5 year, the mining industry has changed a lot just because of the novel coronavirus. Gold deposit, gold price, silver price, precious metals, even copper and iron ore, the prices sharply increased. And nowadays, more and more Chinese people have been trying to invest in different countries.
Yeah.
And our Suntrans act as, like here, China International Mining and Energy Services platform. We help people to provide translation service and a talent hunter service, and organize some roadshow to raise money, and sometimes we also provide basic information to search. And anyway, hopefully our Suntrans can help all of our friends who are engaged in mining and energy industries. Okay, so much for today, and appreciate all of our audience concern to our program, and appreciate for our clients' support for our Suntrans. Our Suntrans nowadays has experienced 13 years. We have been 13 years old, and appreciate all of your contribution, your trust, your support to our Suntrans and myself, and for our Rogers. And today, so much for today's conversation. 感谢我们所有矿业能源同仁以及原行业的同仁对我们阳光创业的支持，感谢对我的支持，也感谢我们来自科特迪瓦的人，中国地质大学的博士Rogers 先生，他参与我们今天的节目。那么他毕业之后呢，也正在进一步的决定他的去向，留在中国工作还是到非洲。也大家如果关于人力资源，我们阳光创业也在做一些劳务外派的派遣的这种工作。如果需要人才，也可以跟我们阳光创意来协作。就是有些呢，我们除了提供矿业能源行业的翻译服务，也在提供一些会展，组织一些会展，帮助大家做项目路演去融资，有时候也组织一些海外的矿业项目的考察，也有时候呢也起到一个猎头或者人才推荐的作用。希望大家呢多多跟我们合作，感谢大家的信任。Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your watching. Okay, so much for this. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay.